All right, so we have a great show lined up for you, and it's a bit distracting in the newsroom right now because...
Why is that?
Well, we have a stuntman on the show, Peter Kent.
Yes.
This guy's amazing, and he's had such an amazing career. So we're actually going to talk to him a little bit about how he got started, because I don't even know, like, how do you fall into being a stuntman?
Well, this is how.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, he was just getting some papers, Peter. 9:40,
Don't mess
17
around.
degrees. Wow.
Jamie, very pleased now to be joined by Peter Kent. If he looks familiar, if his body type looks familiar, it's because you've probably seen him in several movies, including Arnold Schwarzenegger's stunt double for, what, 15 years?
Yeah.
Okay, I have so many questions for you, but before we get started on that, you're in town for a reason. The Vaughan Film Fest is going on. Tell us about that.
I'm actually doing a one-of stunt seminar out in Vaughan with the Vaughan Film Festival guys. And it's for young actors, aspiring actors, or people who just want to have a curiosity about learning fight choreography. We're going to do some wire work, put them in a vest and pick them up and fly them around. And this way,
Standard stuff?
Yeah. All in a day's work.
Basic stuff, yeah. Peter Pan, flying around. It's for young actors who maybe want to, take their careers a little bit further and be able to say that they have that experience, so that if a director says, "Can you do this?" you can say, "Yes, I've done it before."
Okay, speaking of, when you started your career, you had no experience. Tell us about how you got started, because it's just an unbelievable story.
Yeah, well, I lied, basically. I was sent out to meet James Cameron as a lighting stand-in.
Okay.
And then Jim took a look at me and said, "You have the job. By the way, have you done stunts before?" And I said, "Gee, I may not have this job if I don't say yes." So I said yes, and basically that was it. The next thing, I found myself on set being asked to fly through windows and get set on fire and stuff like that. And, the coordinator eventually sussed me out and said, "You have no idea what you're doing, do you?" And that basically saved my life, because he helped train me.
Holy smoke. And, your resume is one of the craziest resumes I've ever seen. I mean, Last Action Hero, you got injured, then there's Total Recall. There was something that happened. True Lies, almost died hanging from a helicopter in the rescue.
Eraser, I heard there's a good story.
Eraser. What are some of the worst injuries you've had? And just tell us about some of your crazy stories.
Most of my face is not original equipment anymore. I've had my nose broken, cheekbone broken, jaw broken.
You look pretty good, considering.
Not bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe that helps. I don't know. I was hit by a 3.5-ton overseas shipping container 100 feet in the air on a racer.
Oh, wow.
That sequence that you see with James Caan and Vanessa Williams. It ended up being CGI, computer generated, but in fact we tried to do it realistically and all ended up in a hospital. So.
Wow.
Jeez.
Okay, so what makes you want to get up every morning and do this?
Adrenaline rush. Much better than coffee. Better than any drug in the world, I can tell you that for sure. Adrenaline's a great buzz.
So you were Arnold's stunt double for 15 years, you said, and this is during his heyday. So we're talking, Terminator 2, Eraser, Collateral Damage, a lot of the big movies. What was it like working with Arnold and standing in for him?
It was busy, for one. Like on Terminator 2, we had 3 separate units running.
My favorite movie of all time, by the way.
Yeah, and my bike jump up there, which put me in the Hollywood Stuntmen's Hall of Fame. It was really busy. I mean, I had days where, you'd wake up and you'd be hurting and you'd have to go back to work, wake up peeing blood and still have to go back to work.
Oh, wow. Gosh. I just looking at those pictures, it's unbelievable that you did this for a living, and you guys actually built a little bit of a relationship too, I would imagine, after 15 years working together. So what's that like? Well,
you're with the guy 24/7. I'm in his room, we're smoking cigars, we're running dialogue. I was actually even his dialogue coach for a while, although I didn't have a lot to work with. But and I cooked for him. And I drew the line with being with the housekeeping staff.
Wow, you guys in that picture.
Good place to draw the line.
You guys really look alike.
I was the first guy ever in the industry to wear basically a Mission Impossible mask on my face. I can tell you it was extremely uncomfortable. I wore it sometimes 16 hours a day, glued to your face every day, glued to your face. So you can imagine the rash you would get from that. And of course, makeup doesn't care. It's just like, stop squealing, hold still. Let's get this thing glued on you and get back out there. So.
What type of insurance do you have to take out for your line of work?
Used to have Lloyd's of London, but when the Exxon Valdez ran aground, of course, Lloyd's went bankrupt. So now nobody insures you.
Nobody insures you.
No.
So if you were to get seriously injured, which has happened to you before, there's no processes to.
No, you get workman's comp. That's about it. So basically, that's one reason why I don't do stunts anymore. And I have 4-year-old twin boys now, so I don't want to do that either.
And we should say you do other things. You have an autobiography and you have a stunt school. So tell us a little bit more about what you're up to.
I have my stunt school in Vancouver, which is called Peter Kent School of Hard Knocks, and I'm actually thinking of coming out to Toronto and running on a larger scale, as well as what we're doing in Vaughan right now. And I also work as a second unit director. Still work as an actor. I'm doing a new sitcom in New York at the end of this month. I'm a screenwriter, producer, a little of everything.
What do you do one day if kids come up to you and say, "Hey, Dad, we want to be stuntmen"?
I think that's already happening. My wife's quite terrified of it because my boys are just maniacs. They're running and leaping off the furniture and crashing through stuff already. And she goes, "Oh God, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree." So.
That's great. Well, listen, we want to hear. I got to ask you to do this. I want to hear you do your Arnold impression because you spend so much time with him. You said you trained him on some of the. We will sometimes break out the Arnold impression on the show.
Okay.
It's not good.
Well, we should have a little contest to see who can do the best Arnold impression here.
Okay, well, I'll go right now. Ready? It's not a tumor.
Oh, that's horrible. It is not a tumor. Everybody down. Everybody get down. Run to the chopper.
Oh, that was his is the best.
Or my favorite one in Terminator was "Get out."
Get out. Pooch?
No, I'm not.
Come on, get it.
Get out.
That's terrible. That is terrible.
I didn't think it was good. All right, so you're going to actually teach us a stunt after
Yeah,
the break.
I'm
We're
gonna
actually
show
pretty good, though. I don't know how much help we need. Can we show you something we've been working on?
Okay.
All right, let's
Ready?
see.
Are you ready?
1, 2, 3.
Wow, that's really sad.
We worked on that all morning. Is no good?
No, it's not good.
All right.
I was like hours.
Well,
of
we'll get
prep.
you set straight. We'll get you set straight.
Okay.
Okay, you'll stick around to help us
Yeah,
out
I
after the
will,
break?
yeah.
Okay.
That's
bet.
happening after the break. Stay tuned for that. 9:51, 17 degrees. We're going to be shown how it's really done.
By a pro.
Yes.
All right, welcome back to CB24 Breakfast Weekend. We're joined by stuntman Peter Kent. He was Arnold Schwarzenegger's stuntman for 15 years. Peter, what am I wearing?
You're wearing what's called a jerk vest, and we're going to be using this out at
Oh,
Vaughn.
right, of course, the jerk vest.
Kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's not for a jerk. No, don't go there. But it is for putting a wire on and yanking you backwards, or picking you up, or if you're shot with a shotgun, so we
it
can
makes
yank you backwards
blows
on
you
a
back.
ratchet. Yeah.
I actually
Jerks you out of the way.
I actually saw Mythbusters where they show when like bombs go off in real life, you don't actually get blown back.
Yeah, you get yanked on a wire.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's how
So that's the kind of vest you would wear.
I should say that there's a lot involved here. Peter was kind enough to come in hours before you were actually on. He scouted out the whole newsroom, made sure that safety was paramount, and
course.
we
It
actually
always
have a clip of something that we taped earlier on to show you how it all works.
You may have seen that on the show, and you may have wondered about the man who flipped over the railing. Is he still alive? The answer is yes. Do you want to come on in? Actually, just come on in with us right now.
Come here, Eli.
Just
Eli.
proof that he's living.
He's all good.
So Eli, you were okay because you flipped over the railing. You're okay. You landed on this big. People can't see. Oh, right here. Yeah, you landed on this big mat.
Yeah,
so
I'm
you're
good.
fine. You're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, good stuff. How long have you been doing it as well?
I've been doing it for a number of years, not as long as Peter over here, but
Okay.
about 5 years.
Is it tougher to be the person throwing the punches and trying to look convincing, or the person taking it and getting knocked? What's the
I
tougher
think
job?
the cell is very
cell?
important. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that we've seen how you guys do it, can we take another crack at it?
Okay.
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 What do we need to know?
I'm going to put this down.
Okay.
Are you going to
Sure,
hold
I
that
can
there?
hold this.
Okay.
Tell us what we need to know.
So, I'm ready.
All right. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to throw the punch across his face, and you're going to swing out a little bit.
This is
and
words she's
across
always
his
wanted to hear, by the way.
You can miss him by about that much.
So,
Easy
like,
Pooch.
there.
Her depth
And-
perception is weak.
Okay. Well, and as she crosses the axis of your nose, that's when you snap your head in that direction.
It's a
okay?
large axis and a large nose.
Okay. Well, let's go for it. And on action. Okay.
Ready to go?
Ready
Oh, yeah.
and action. Boom. There you go.